Hello, this is Bob Gray Sr. Welcome to Ministry Moments YouTube every Friday, 3 o'clock, Lord willing, Central Time. And you can go to Ministry Moments YouTube and subscribe. That way you'll get it every week. If you can't, your schedule doesn't allow you to join us at 3 o'clock, that's fine, I understand. But that way you can watch it at any time. And we have a lot of people that do that. And then also, I would suggest you go to solvechurchproblems.com. There's so much more there. I have a blog every week. I have MIMS. I never pronounce it right. And Ministry Moments is on there also. There's a lot of great things that be available, and plus our latest books and so on. That's solvechurchproblems.com. Subscribe there. That way you'll get you'll receive it regularly. And then, of course, Ministry Moments every Friday, 3 o'clock Central Time. Very practical. That's what I like. I like practical things. My ministry's always been tab A, slot B. I like that point one, point two. I like for you to be able to take it home with you and say, I can use this. So hopefully that's what'll happen here. Today, I want to talk to you about Sunday School Essentials. Sunday School Essentials. I think you make a mistake when you say church starts at 11, Sunday school at 9:30. No, church starts at 9:30. And until we get back to building up our Sunday school, we're not going to be able to reach our area for Christ. Discipleship, preacher. What about discipleship? Sunday school. Just if they can't get out of bed and get there by 9:30 or 10 o'clock on Sunday morning, you're not going to disciple anybody. I don't care if you do it Friday night. Sunday is the Lord's day, not Bob's day, not John's day. It's the Lord's day. And so you wake them up. That's what I do. I go by a list. I go down, knock on their door. Yeah, get up. You said you were coming. And nobody wakes up well. They rub their eyes, don't feel good. And I say, that's all right. I said, I'll be back in a half hour to pick you up. And they're talking to me as I'm going back to the van, but they just talk all day long. I don't hear a thing they're saying. They told me, don't tell me you're going to come and then not come. So Sunday school we've got to get the emphasis back on Sunday. Two things, well, there's more than two, but the bus ministry element was a great part of the success of the 60s and 70s and 80s. The Sunday school was a tremendous part of the success of the 60s, 70s, and 80s. I'm just telling you, it made impacts on cities all over the country. The biggest churches in every state back in those days was an independent Baptist church running buses, soul winning, great Sunday school programs. So I want to talk to you and give you some practical things about Sunday school essentials. Number one, departmentalized graded Sunday schools. Departmentalized graded Sunday schools. You should have grade school, junior high, high school, and adult eventually. Now, you may not be able to do junior high, high school, or grade school, junior high, and high school, but you can get one superintendent. But you've got to start out with preschool. You've got to start out with kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, and then promote them in the summertime to the next class. And so very, very important that you have a departmentalized, graded Sunday school. Do it by the grades. And then in the summer, when they're promoted at school, then we promote them in Sunday school and have a promotion Sunday, make a big deal out of it. Eventually, you want to have a grade school, preschool, grade school, junior high, high school, and then adult. Okay. Now within that, you could have two high school departments with two superintendents. You could, as it grows, two junior high superintendents take care of two because of growth. Same thing with grade school, same thing with preschool, nursery, and so on. So departmentalized graded Sunday school, get that thought in your head. That's where you want to go. That's what you've got to do in order to keep, and the pastor ought to be the superintendent of all the Sunday schools. I had people keep records of those who went soul winning and gave and so on and so forth. And that type of a thing. And I had somebody interview the ones I asked them to interview for a particular class because of my counseling with them and knowing them. I know who's qualified and who's not. All right. Now, so we're talking about Sunday school essentials. I know the pandemic's been here, but we've got to get the Sunday school going again. We've got to get the bus ministry going again. And you've got to think, and there's nothing wrong with the message, it's the messenger. That's the problem. All right. So number one, departmentalize graded Sunday school. That is an essential. Number two, choose the best for superintendents. Choose the best for superintendents. You get somebody that is a faithful soul winner, faithful to church, separated from the world, tithing, sacrificial giving, and who's got a good thinker up there, good brain, and can organize. And so you take somebody who's usually successful in the world, not worldly, but successful in the world, living for God, they can help you. But don't choose somebody just to choose somebody. It'd be better for you to be the Sunday school superintendent over everything than to put somebody in a position that's not qualified or successful. Okay, so number one, departmentalize graded Sunday schools, a preschool, kindergarten, grade school, junior high, high school, and adult. Those are the departments, and it's by grade. And every summer, again, that goes from first to second grade, then should move from one Sunday school class to the second grade Sunday school class. You got it? Okay. So number one, departmentalize graded Sunday school. That's essential. Number two, choose the best for superintendents. That's essential. Number three, weekly meetings. This is essential. Weekly meetings. You need to have the superintendents meet with their teachers. I do this on Wednesday. I did this on Wednesday night before the Wednesday night church. It gave me a chance to have the Sunday school meetings, but also their kids could be in choirs, and they're busy, so they can bring their whole family, separate them out. So they're going and to the choirs. So there's someone watching them, and they're active while the parent is in the meeting. So you want to have a superintendent teacher meeting. You want to have a pastor superintendent meeting. I want feedback. Teachers give feedback to the superintendents. Superintendents, I want them to give it back to me. Also, when we have a program, we have different hooks in the water. The superintendent will have their program for their if it's junior high or grade school, or they have their program, and then they reward their teachers. The teachers have theirs, and they reward the students, and then I reward the superintendents. And so that's how that works. Bus ministry, the bus director, we had 40 bus routes, if you can believe that. And then he rewards the division leaders. The division leaders reward the bus captains of their division. So there's a lot of hooks in the water when we have a program, and everybody has their own program under the umbrella of a church-wide theme that we have. All right. So Sunday school essentials. Number one, departmentalize graded Sunday school. This is probably the most important ministry moment. You better pay attention. I'm trying to tell you how it happened under Lee Robertson and Jack Hiles and those Curtis Hutch, all those great men. I'm telling you how it happened. We don't need to change the template. We don't need to reinvent the wheel. It's already worked. We just got to work it. All right. So number one, departmentalize graded Sunday school. Text, choose the best for superintendents. Number three, weekly meetings. Superintendent with the teacher, pastor with the superintendents, and pastor with the teachers and workers. Now, let me give you a little thought here. We had a requirement thing they had to sign every year because things change, people change. And if someone could not, they said, Pastor, I can't sign that. I don't want to air it. Don't tell me. I don't want to know. I'll help you if you come with counseling. I'll help you with it. But would you consider being a general teacher? Pastor, what's that? Well, that's where you come to the meeting on Wednesday night, learn the lesson, and be ready in case the teacher's sick. If the teacher's sick, you fill in. That way, every class has got a general teacher behind it they're there, they're prepared. And guess what happens? They grow in the Lord. And then it comes a day when they say, I'd like to teach one of those classes. So that's how it works. All right. So departmentalized, graded, I'll spit it out, Sunday school. Choose the best for the superintendents. Weekly meetings, superintendent with a teacher, pastor with the superintendents, pastor with teachers and workers. Number four, look for your soul-winning, tithing, faithful families to select from. Brother Duckett, God bless Brother Duckett. He's in heaven now. One of the best servants I've ever known on our staff for 18 years. Anyway, he would keep a 3-ring binder, and he'd carry it with him on a Thursday morning, Thursday night, whatever. He would check off the enroll, those who were there on the roll. And that way I knew who was going soul winning. We had 8 different soul winning times, so I knew who was going. The financial department could tell me if they were tithing or not. And then just by knowing them and visiting their home, I could tell who was separated and who wasn't separated. Here's the thought. You don't want to put somebody in to Sunday school hoping that they'll go soul winning, hoping that they'll tithe, hoping they'll be faithful. Oh, this will force them to be faithful to church. This will force them to get out of the world. No, it doesn't work that way. You get somebody that's already doing it. And so it's not an imposition on them. It's just the way they live. All right. So number one, departmentalized graded Sunday school. These are essentials. Choose the best for superintendent. Weekly meeting, superintendent with a teacher, pastor with the superintendent, pastor with the teachers and workers. Number four, look to your soul winning, tithing, faithful people to select from. Number five, small classes. Jesus taught 12 and turned the world upside down, losing just one. What in the world makes you think you can teach 100 or 1,000? It's not going to happen. So 20 was my cutoff, and we would divide it and start another class. So, and then in the adult classes, yes, we had large adult classes, but we had 17 adult classes overall. My goodness, you want to let them know, I'm after you. I want you to grow. I want you to be a teacher one day. I want you to pray about being a Sunday school teacher. And that's where our Sunday school teachers came from, the soul winners, the tithers, the ones that were faithful. But small classes. Brother Hiles had 800 Sunday school classes in the early 70s when Mrs. Gray and our family was there. 800 that averaged 20 plus. We had a bus ministry ran 20, 25. Jojo Moffitt, Roy Moffitt, they're nuts. They'd run 75 and 100. But the average guy would run 20. And there was a method behind this. They got visited. The people got visited. If you had 100 in your roll and I said, you better visit every regular, my goodness, you better visit every absentee. That's why we're so frustrated around the country now, because our classes are too big. You can't take care of them. When I was in Hammond in the early 40s, Miss Gray and I had 4 children, and they were visited every week by a Sunday school teacher. No wonder they had 20,000 in Sunday school, 100,000 members. No wonder they could maintain all that. Why? Because they were small Sunday school classes, and we were visited. That way, you know if somebody's sick, you know something. You can help them in so many ways. So small classes. So number one, departmentalized graded Sunday school, essential. Number two, choose the best for superintendent, essential. Weekly meetings, essential. I suggest Wednesday night for the Bible study. 4, look to your soul winning, tithing, faithful people to select from. That's an essential. Small classes, that is an essential. Weekly visitation of regulars and absentees, that is an essential. Accurate records. Number 7, accurate records. Please keep your rolls updated. Don't when they go to the next class, don't hand them a roll that's got 3 addresses and you got 17. You don't even know where don't do that. And if they've come in on a bus, good grief, get on that bus captain. If that doesn't work, go to the preacher. Say, preacher, I need to get. A lot of people did that with me. Preacher, give me the list. I'll get it for you. And that way, obviously, and the bus captain didn't have addresses. Well, we better find out. We can't do what we ought to do if we don't know that. You got to stay on top of this, but accurate records. Number 8, this is the last point. Aren't you proud of me? Number 8, spring and fall campaigns. We had a 6-week spring campaign, 6-week fall. Now, Brother Hiles had 12 weeks. I don't know how in the world he did it, but I tried it in the early days. It just doesn't work. Of course, he had the power of God on him, but 6 in the spring and 6 in the fall, with the final Sunday being the big day, the big push. You reward them for coming, reward them for bringing a visitor, and so on and forth, but build up a sign up for the big day. You got it? Okay. You've got church members that come once a month. You've got some that come twice a month. If they all came at the same time, you'd break every record you got. It's just the nature of church. Now, but we had 6 weeks a theme, and everybody had their own campaign. It was the general theme the church had. We would decorate for that theme. We had a racing thing, LBT 500. That was exciting. And we decorated the auditorium for it. But then every department had to have their own hook in the water of some type of promotion. But these are essentials. Spring campaign, fall campaign. Now, don't be a bunch of lazy rascals. If we're going to reclaim our cities for Christ, if we're going to get back after it, it's going to take some work and it's going to take some sense, some horse sense. So this is Sunday School Essentials. I hope that it helps you. God bless you. Go to Ministry Moments YouTube. Subscribe this week. Don't put it off. Every Friday, 3 o'clock, something very practical to be of help to you. Now, tomorrow's soul winning. You go soul winning tomorrow and you line up your people for Sunday morning. Sunday school is when church starts. Then you get them up, pick them up, get them to church, and have a great day. Have a great weekend and work hard at this thing of Sunday school. God bless you. Have a great weekend.